Hi my loves, and welcome back to your full body sculpt. I'm so excited to be moving with you today. In today's session, you're going to need your ankle weights, your light to medium dumbbells, along with your block. Now, when it comes to the props, specifically the block and the ankle weights, you do not need it, but it is there for you. So please go ahead and take what you need. So let's go ahead and get started in our warm-up. We're gonna start on our hands and knees. Let's have our ankle weights on if needed. Remember, that is optional for you. Your knees are in line with your hips, your hands are stacked over your shoulders stacked over your hands. We're gonna start in that cat-cow, taking a nice big inhale, dropping your belly button towards the mat. Gaze is up towards the ceiling and the sky. Inhale, exhale as you draw that belly button back up into the spine. Spine comes up towards the ceiling. Good, nice big inhale. Looking up towards the ceiling in the sky, and exhale, driving that back and that belly button and spine up towards the ceiling. Give me one more. Take a nice big inhale, looking up towards the ceiling. One more exhale, drawing that belly button into that spine. Holding this here for 3, 4, 2, for 1, coming back into that neutral spine right here. Let's go ahead and tuck those toes underneath. Let's elevate those knees up off the mat. We're gonna hold this bear pose stance for 5, for 4. We're going to pike the hips up towards the sky in 2, and 1. Pike the hips up towards the sky. Let's pedal it out. Let's drop that right heel to the mat, bending that left leg. Let's switch over to the opposite side. Left heel comes down to the mat, and just alternate one side at a time. If you want to feel an even bigger stretch, try and draw that chest a little bit further towards your thighs. Good, nice big inhale and exhale. We're here for 5, give me one more each side. For 3, for 2, give me one more. For 1. Coming back to neutral, both heels come down onto that mat. We're going to lift up that right leg into that 3-legged dog. We're going to swing it through to a world's greatest stretch. Right foot on the outside of the right hands, holding it nice and low. We're going to open up with that right hand towards that right side of the body and that right knee. From here, let's rotate clockwise that hand and that wrist for 3, for 2, for 1, switch directions counterclockwise for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Holding that right here. Let's go ahead and drop that right hand back down to the mat. Swing that right toe back, right foot back into that tall plank position for 3, for 2, piking those hips up in 1. Right here, pike those hips up. Let's go ahead and bring up that left leg into that 3-legged dog, holding right here. Swing it through to the outside of your left hand into that world's greatest stretch, holding here. Lifting up that left hand into that world's greatest stretch. Clockwise, let's rotate that hand and that wrist for 3, for 2. Nice big inhale and exhale for 1. Switching it counterclockwise for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Bringing that left hand back down to that mat right here. Swing that left leg back into that tall plank position. We're gonna hold this here for 5, for 4, dropping to those knees in 3, and 2, and 1. Drop to those knees right here. Let's go ahead and restack our knees over our hips, hands over the shoulders. We're gonna go into our bird dog to start activating our core. Let's go ahead and connect that right elbow to left thigh, holding that right here, extending everything nice and long, holding it at the top, making sure everything is nice and lengthened, bringing everything back in. Inhale right here. Exhale as you reach nice and long. Good, stay with me. Nice big extension of the arm and the leg, bringing everything back together. Good, make sure you're not extending that left leg too high. You wanna make sure everything is nice and neutral. Your right arm, right hand is connecting by your right ear. Good, we're here for 10 more seconds. Good, for 8. For 5, almost there. For 3, for 2. Give me one more rep for 1. Right there, good. Bring everything back underneath you, back to your center. We're gonna take it to the opposite side. So collecting that left elbow to right thigh, connecting right here. Nice big extension of that arm and that leg, holding. Good. Bringing everything back together. Inhale and exhale as you reach everything nice and long. Good. Stay with me. And exhale. Very good. Take your time. We're here for 10 more seconds. Make sure your left hand comes by your left ear, left hand, left arm by the left ear, extending that right leg nice and long. We're here for 3, for 2, for 1, and everything comes back to center. Good, right there. Now let's go ahead and swing our feet forward. We're going to start in our roll up. You're going to grab your weights. Now, when it comes to the feet placement, make sure your feet aren't stacked directly under your knees. Bring them a little bit more further than typical as you prepare for that roll up. You're going to lie starting on your back right here. The weights are going to be at eye level. Make sure that your back is nice and flat on that mat, engaging that core. In that roll up, we're going to come up neck, chest, shoulders, rolling up one vertebrae at a time, holding at the top right here. As you come down into that roll up, you're gonna come through your spine in that C curve, not through your chest, slowly coming down one vertebrae at a time, taking your time right here. Nice big inhale, rolling up neck, chest, shoulders, coming up one vertebrae at a time, holding right here, coming down slow and controlled, one vertebrae at a time, coming through your spine. Good. Nice big inhale, coming up neck, chest, shoulders, holding that right here. Taking your time, slow and controlled. Good. Stay with me. Slow and controlled. Good. Dropping into that C curve, coming down one vertebrae at a time in that roll up as you prepare. Good. Stay with me. We have about 20 more seconds. Taking your time, one vertebrae at a time right here. We have 10 more seconds. Slow and controlled, coming down. We're here for 5, for 4. Give me one more rep of the roll up, coming down one vertebrae at a time for 3, for 2, for 1. Right here, meeting me on your back. Let's go ahead and bring your feet slightly in closer towards your hips, a little bit more stacked underneath your knees. From here, we're gonna make sure your back is nice and neutral. We're gonna go into our crunches. So same thing, your feet are going to be planted at the bottom of your mat, holding that right here. You're going to come up neck, chest, shoulders as you bring the weights towards the sides of your body, holding that right here. Inhale, exhale, as you come back to your center. Take a nice big inhale right here. Exhale as you come back to your center. Good, slow and controlled. Good. This is our first exercise. We are going to be adding layers here, so stay with me. If at any point the weights are too much, take them away. You can always do this body weight. Amazing. Inhale. Exhale as you come back up, slow and controlled. Coming back to your center. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale as you come up into that crunch. Try and think of peeling the shoulders, the neck, the chest up a little bit higher each and every rep. Slowly come back to your center. Amazing. You're doing so well. Good. We're here for about 15 more seconds before we add on our next layer. Good. We're here for 12, for 10, for 7. You're going to meet me down on your back in 5, in 3. Give me one more rep in 2, and 1 right here. The next layer, as you come up into that crunch, you're going to bring both legs into tabletop. So as you crunch up, you're going to bring both legs into tabletop, holding that right here. Slowly lower everything, coming back down. Take a nice big inhale. Everything curls up, bring the legs to tabletop, and slowly lower everything, coming down. Inhale. Exhale as you draw everything together. Amazing. You got this. You're so strong. Inhale and exhale, coming back down. Good. Stay with me. Ten more seconds. We're going to hold the crunch, hold the legs into tabletop, and we're going to add a double leg extension. Almost there. For 5. For 3, for 2, coming up into that crunch, hold that tabletop position. As you hold this here, you're going to extend the legs into that double leg extension, bring it back to tabletop, and then lower everything back down. That is our next layer. Curling up, tabletop the legs, double leg extension, 45-degree angle, bringing everything into tabletop and lowering everything back down. Good. Inhale. Coming up to tabletop, exhale right here, bring everything back and lower. Amazing, almost there. We have 10 more seconds right here. For 8. For 6, for 4, give me one more rep for 3, for 2, one more rep, for 1, holding that double leg extension. Meet me right here. We're slowly going to flutter the feet one at a time. We're here for 8, for 6, for 4, knees come to chest in 3, in 2, and 1. Good. Knees come to chest right here. Holding that, rocking side to side, dropping the weights to the sides of your body, rocking side to side right here. Amazing. Let's go ahead and drop the feet down to the mat. Let's go ahead and prepare for our glute bridge variation. Your feet are going to be down on the mat. Make sure that your fingertips aren't touching your heels. Have them a little bit further away. Let's go ahead and bring the weights back to eye level right here. Before we start, make sure your back is nice and flat on that mat. We're gonna come up one vertebrae at a time in that glute bridge, holding it right here. Slowly lowering, everything coming down. Just like we did in our core, we are going to be adding layers on into our bridge. Amazing. Inhale and exhale as you drive the glutes up into that bridge. Good. Amazing. Slowly lower the hips, coming down. We're here for about 20 more seconds before we add on. Last 10. For 7. You're gonna meet me at the top of your bridge in 5, in 4. Meet me at the top in 3, 2, 1. Holding that bridge at the top. Let's draw that left leg to tabletop right here. Holding that, we're gonna drop that right hip down to that mat, and we're gonna go into that single leg bridge. Holding that right here, slow and controlled, coming down. Tap the hips, tap the glutes, and drive up through that right heel. Amazing, stay with me. Tap it down and back up. So good. Amazing.
here for 10. You're going to meet me at the top of your bridge. We're going to hold it nice and high for 4, in 3, in 2, holding up nice and high for 1, right here, holding it here. We're going to extend the arms overhead for the lat pull through as you extend that left leg, bring everything back together, left leg back into tabletop, holding that here, keeping that right hip up nice and high. We're not going to drop the hips. We're here for 5. Good. We're here for 4. Inhale, exhale, draw everything together for 3, for 2, for 1. Everything comes back up to center. We're going to pulse through that right glute for 5. Small pulses up and down for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1 right here. Lower the hips down. Let's bring that right leg to tabletop right here. Let's go ahead and drop that left weight towards your mat. Your left palm is going to be on that mat. This is going to help stabilize you. Your right hand still is holding that weight. We're going to go into a spinal twist. Your knees are going to slowly drop slightly a few inches above your mat as you bring your right hand out into that chest fly. So you're going to have a soft bend in your elbow, small rotations out, bring it out, slow and controlled. Bring everything back to center. Use your palm, press it against your mat, bring it out slightly, slow and controlled. Bring everything back to center. Good. Your knees are together, your toes are together. Small rotations through that core. Exhale, bring it back together. Inhale, draw everything out. Exhale, bring everything back together. Amazing work here. Big rotations. Good. We're here for 5, for 3. Meeting me back to center. In 2, and 1. Right there. Drop everything down. Drop that weight. Let's bring the knees into your chest and let's rock side to side. Amazing. We're going to do the same glute series, except when we go into our single leg, we're going to rise up that right leg to tabletop. Let's go ahead and grab those weights again. We're going to go into our glute bridge. Make sure your fingers are not touching your heels. Bring your feet a little bit further away. Let's go ahead and bring the weights into your hands up overhead to eye level. We're slowly going to peel up 1 vertebrae at a time into that glute bridge, holding it at the top, slow and controlled. Coming down 1 vertebrae at a time. Amazing. Stay with me here, driving up through the hips. Inhale and exhale as you draw everything back down. Good. Drive up through the hips, holding it at the top, slowly lowering everything 1 vertebrae at a time. Amazing. Coming up slow and controlled, and coming down slow and controlled. Looks great. Stay with me. Good. We have about 20 more seconds here. Last 10. You're so strong. Everything we did on the other side, we are going to do it on the opposite. For 8. In 6. In 4, you're going to hold that bridge up nice and high. For 3. For 2. For 1, hold the hips up nice and high. Let's draw that right leg into tabletop, holding that right here. Let's lower the left hip down, left glute down to the mat, and we're gonna isolate our single leg bridge now, coming up through that left heel, left glute, keeping that right leg into tabletop, tap it, and come right back up. Good. Slow and controlled, nice big inhale, and exhale, drawing the hips up towards the sky, towards the ceiling. Amazing. Almost there. We have 10 more seconds before we add that right leg extension along with the weights overhead. For 6, for 4, holding the hips up nice and high. In 2, and 1, holding the hips up nice and high. Extend those arms overhead as you extend that right leg and bring it everything back in. Good. Nice big extension overhead. Drive through that left heel, Have those hips up nice and high. We're here for 5. Good. For 4. For 3. And 2. Give me one more rep. Draw everything together. For 1, holding right here. Let's drive through small pulses through that left heel, that left glute for 5. For 4. For 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower everything, coming down. Let's go ahead and drop the weights. Bring the knees into your chest and rock side to side before we reset and go into some core. Good. Let's drop the feet down. Let's go ahead and grab the weight into that left hand. Let's slowly bring one leg into tabletop and the other leg into tabletop. Let's take your right hand and place it on the outside of your mat to help stabilize you. We're gonna go into our spine twist with our chest fly on the opposite side. So as you chest fly out to the left side of your mat, you're going to slightly rotate the knees to that right side of your mat at the same time. Take a nice big inhale and exhale as you rotate and chest fly out, bringing everything back together. Really think of pulling in with your core and your obliques. Bring it back to the center. Amazing. Really push your right palm down into that ground to help stabilize you for support. Good. Almost there. We're here for 8. For 6, and 4, 3, good. Give me 2 more reps here for 2, back to center, and 1 more. Everything comes back to center. Drop that weight down, draw the knees into your chest, and let's go ahead and rock side to side. Take a nice big inhale, stretch out that low back. Amazing. Good, and when you're ready, let's go ahead and come to all 4s. Let's go and add our block. We're going to add our block to that right side of our mat. Our right hand is going to be on top of the block. At any time, if the block is too much, take it away. Let's go ahead and add your weight to that left side of the block so it is there for you. Now, when you're here, we're going to push down on that block. Left hand is going to come down to that mat. We're gonna start in a tall plank position, holding this position right here. From here, we're going to pike our hips up nice and high towards the ceiling. For 2, for 1, bring it back down into that tall plank position. Amazing. Stay with me. And draw everything back down. Everything back up. And everything back down. Good. In 10 seconds, we are going to elevate that left leg up into a 3-legged dog as we push back. In 7, in 5, meet me in that tall plank position. In 3, in 2, and 1, holding it here. As you draw up, bring up that left leg with you. Bring everything back down into that tall plank position. Drive everything back up. Push that right hand onto that block. Bring everything back to center. Good. Make sure your hips aren't dropping and you're coming all the way down into that tall plank position. Nice and neutral spine. Good. We're here for 5. Good. For 4. Amazing. And 3. And 2. And 1. Let's go ahead and drop that left knee to the mat. Let's go ahead and drop that left forearm to that mat as well. You're going to be having that weight in that left hand as you prepare. We're going to untuck your right toes. We're going to go into some glute taps. Your right hand is still on that block. You're going to elevate up into that glute tap and that glute kick and slowly lower down. Amazing. Inhale, exhale, coming back up. Slowly lower everything, coming back down. Amazing, almost there. Really pushing into that block to help stabilize you, giving your wrists a little bit of a rest. 10 seconds, we are going to add our next layer. Amazing. In 4. In 3, meet me at the bottom of your glute tap. In 2. And 1 right here. Meet me at the bottom. We're going to come up into that glute tap. From here, you're going to connect that right elbow to right knee, holding here, and extend everything nice and long. Tap those toes back down. Amazing. Tap it up. Drive that right knee to right elbow. Bringing everything back up nice and tall, nice and high, and tapping it down. That's our next layer. Up, right knee to right elbow, together and lower. Right knee to right elbow, extend and lower. Amazing. And kick and lower. Good. And lower, almost there. In 5, you're going to meet me at the bottom of your glute tap. In 4. In 3, give me 1 more rep here. In 2. And 1. Adding in our next layer, you're going to come up into that glute tap, drive that right knee to right elbow. As you extend that right leg, you're going to grab that left dumbbell into that left, you're going to drop that left hand into that dumbbell and come up into that lateral raise, holding everything here, dropping everything back down, tapping the toes down, lifting it up into that glute kick, driving that right knee to right elbow. Extend. As you extend everything, bring that left hand with that dumbbell and everything comes back down. Tap the toes. Our next layer, right knee to right elbow. As you extend, drive that left hand with that dumbbell, bring everything back down to that left forearm. Tap the toes. Beautiful. And connect. Drive it up, right knee to right elbow, extend, coming up nice and tall. Good. Tap the toes. Good. Almost there. Give me 2 more reps here. One more rep. Coming down to that forearm, tap the toes, drive it up, right knee to right elbow. As you extend, drive it up. Let's hold that here, hold that raise. From here, we're gonna thread the needle towards that right side of your body, keeping that right leg up nice and high. Rotate it back through. We're here for 5. Big rotations for 4. For 3. Drop that weight if it's too much and do a body weight for 2. Big rotation. For 1, right here, isometric hold for 5. For 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Dropping everything, coming down. Let's sit back in that child's pose. Amazing. And breathe. We're here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Coming back onto all fours. Let's go ahead and bring that block to the left side of your mat. Bring that dumbbell to that right side of your block. From here, we're gonna go back into our tall plank position, into our pikes. So let's go ahead and extend both legs. We're gonna start here, piking the hips up towards the ceiling. Big drive through the hips. Coming back down into that tall plank position. Good. Stay with me. Driving it down. Pike those hips up. Almost there. Good. We're slowly going to start lifting up our right leg into that 3-legged dog. In 3, in 2, and 1 right here. Next wrap, let's go ahead and lift up into that 3-legged dog, holding here, dropping everything back down into that tall plank position, driving those hips up into that 3-legged dog, bring it back down. Good. We're here for 10, for 7, for 5, and 3. Meet me in that tall plank in 2, and 1 right here, holding. Let's drop to that right knee. Let's come down to that right forearm. Let's have your right hand holding that dumbbell. Let's go ahead and untuck your left toes. We're going to start in that glute tap. Everything we did on one side, we are going to do the other. So let's go ahead and lift up that left leg into that glute tap. Slowly tap the toes coming down. Amazing. Stay connected with your breath. Take what you need right now. Good. This is just a reminder that you are so much stronger than you think. Push that left hand into that block. Stay with me. Beautiful. In 10 seconds, we're going to add that left knee to elbow. In 8, in 5, in 4, in 3, meet me with your left toes down on the mat in 2, and 1, left toes down to that mat. Let's go ahead and rise up into that glute, tap. Let's go ahead and drive that left knee to left elbow. Go ahead and extend everything nice and high. Tap those toes down to that mat. Lift up everything in that glute raise. Drive that left knee to left elbow. Go ahead and extend everything right here. Good. This is our next layer. Stay with me. Beautiful. Amazing. 10 more seconds here before we add that lateral raise with that dumbbell on that left side, on that right side. In 5, in 4, meet me with your toes at the bottom of that glute tap on your mat. In 2, and 1. We're gonna go ahead and glute tap it up. Drive that left knee to right elbow. As you extend everything, you're going to come up into that raise on that right side, dropping everything down. Right forearm, tap those toes down, lift it up. Think left elbow to left knee. Extend everything as you come up into that raise on that right side, dropping down to that right forearm, tap those toes down. Good. We're here for 10 more seconds. We're here for 5. Give me 1 more rep before we hold it up nice and high. In 3, in 2, holding up everything nice and high. Hold that raise, hold that leg raise. From here, we're going to thread the needle towards that left side of your mat, left side of your body. Drop the weight if it's too much, and bring everything back to your starting position. Good, we're here for 5, almost there. For 4, for 3, for 2, give me 1 more rep. For 1, hold everything nice and high, isometric hold of the arm and leg. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, right there. Lower everything down, come into that child's pose, holding that right here. Take a nice big inhale and exhale. 1 more time, nice big inhale and exhale. Amazing. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to take it to standing. We're gonna do our squats. You're gonna go ahead and grab your medium weights. You are going to need your block for this. You don't have to use your block, but it is there for you to challenge you. We're gonna go into a heel elevated front squat. So your heels are going to be on that block. From here, you're going to rise up with the dumbbells to your shoulders. From here, we're going to squat it down into that squat, slow and controlled, taking your time, coming down 1, 2, 3, and coming up slow and controlled. Good. Coming down 1, 2, 3, and coming up slow and controlled. Amazing. Take your time here. 10 more seconds before we add on. For 8. For 6. In 3. Maybe at the top of your squat in 2. And 1. As you squat it down, coming here, you're gonna step out towards that left side of your block, come back to center, and come back up. We're here for 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. Give me 1 more rep. For 1. You're gonna hold it down at the bottom. Hold it here. Small pulses for 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. For 1. Come back to center and reset those arms. Woo! All right, we're gonna go ahead and complete everything going towards that right. Take a few breathers. Lift that weight back up to your shoulders. Back into the slow squats. And back up. Amazing. And back up. Take your time. For 5. Meet me at the top. And 3. And 2. And 1. Hold it at the top right here. Coming down. Stepping it out towards that right side of your block. Back for 5. Good. For 4. For 3. For 2. For 1, hold it down, hold it out on the block. Small pulses for 5. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to center and rise it up right there. Whew. Amazing work. Let's go ahead and reset. Let's take that block away. We're gonna go back in with your set of dumbbells. We're gonna go into some RDLs with a row. From here, shoulders back, chest up, feet are directly underneath your hips, small bend in the knees. We're gonna go into a hinge, big stretch in your hamstrings and glutes. At the bottom right here, you're going to row the dumbbells, bring it back up to the top. Inhale, exhale, lower, hold, row, bring it back to center. Good. Lower down, row, up, and center. Stay with me. Good. We're here for 5. For 4. For 3, meet me at the bottom of your row. And 2. And 1. We're gonna isolate that row, driving the weights and the elbows to the side of your body. For 10. Good. For 7. For 5. For 3. For 2. For 1. Come up nice and tall. Hold that right here. Amazing. Let's go ahead and drop your weights. Last few minutes of class, we're gonna go into some upper body. I am grabbing my lighter weights. Now you want to make sure you're positioning. Your toes are pointed together. Your knees are slightly pivoted out. Your weights are at a 90-degree angle right here, shoulders back. We're gonna go into some external rotations, bring it back to neutral. So you should be feeling this in your upper back as we just got done front loading our squats and doing our RDLs. We're almost there. Good. Big open of that chest and close. Inhale. Exhale as you draw the weights away from your body. Keeping those elbows tight to your side. We're here for 8, for 6, for 4. Bring everything nice and neutral for 2, and 1. Holding that here. Next time as we external rotation, you're going to come up onto your knees, driving everything back down. Open it up, and everything comes back down. Good. We're not here for long. Stay with me. Exhale and inhale. Inhale and exhale. Good. We're here for 5. Maybe at the top of your kneeling position in 2. 1 more rep. Coming down for 1. Holding here. We're going to go into a serve the platter. Bring it out and back in for 10. Good. For 8. Almost there. For 5. Bring the elbows tight to your body in 3. In 2. And 1. Holding right here. Let's reach that left arm nice and long towards that right side of your body. Big overhead reach. Come back to your center. Switch over to the other side. Good. Not here for long. Amazing. We're here for 10. Last and final upper body exercise. Good. For 6. For 4. For 3. For 2. For 1. Right there. Drop down to those hips. Shake it out. Amazing job today. Let's go ahead. Bring the weights to the front of your mat. Let's go ahead and cool it down. Let's drop down into that child's pose, stretching out that low back. Dropping that forehead to the mat. Take a nice big inhale and exhale. Give me 1 more. Nice big inhale and exhale. Right there. Let's come onto all fours. Let's go into a thread the needle here, thoracic rotation. Let's open up that towards that right side of the body. From here, let's thread it through that left side, dropping that right shoulder down. Let's just hold it here, stretching that out. We did a lot of upper body today. You guys are so strong. You guys are so capable. And please have this session be a reminder of that. For 3, for 2, for 1. Bringing that right hand back down to that mat. Let's go ahead and open up that left side. Opening up through, thread it through towards that right side of your body. Drop that left shoulder down. Holding that here. Good. We're here for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, for 1. Left hand comes back down to that mat. Let's go ahead and pigeon stretch our right knee forward, extending that left leg long. If it feels comfortable, you can stay here on your hands, or if you want a deeper stretch, come down to your forearms. Good, and just hold that here. For 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and 1. Let's slowly rise up, taking your time here. Let's bring that right leg back, and let's draw that left leg forward into that pigeon stretch. Holding that here on your hands, or if you feel comfortable, come down to your forearms. Good. Amazing. You guys moved with purpose today and intention. I hope this session reminded you that you are way more capable of what you put your body through and what you can achieve. Amazing, good. Come back onto all fours. Let's bring that left leg back underneath. Let's go ahead and swing your feet back around towards the front. Let's come down onto your back. If you're comfortable, go ahead and take off the ankle weights, whatever is comfortable for you. Hands come to the belly. Let's go ahead and connect the knees, the feet. Let's drop the right knees towards that right side of your mat into a lumbar rotation, holding that here. Coming back up to center, dropping into that left side. Switching the other direction. One more each time. Back up to center, over to that left. Holding that here. Good. Back up to center here. Let's go ahead and drive the knees into your chest. Hands come on top of the knees. Let's go for a nice big knee circle. So you're going to draw the knees in towards your chest, out and around for a big circle. Hands still on the knees. We're here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Let's go ahead and switch directions, dropping these down towards the mat, open and out and around for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, right there. Let's go ahead and when you're ready, come up to a seated position, finishing off with a few more stretches. Whatever you're comfortable with, let's go ahead and drop that right hand down to the mat, reach up and over with that left hand, reach far over to that right side. Good. Take a nice big inhale, exhale, reach a little bit further. Good, bring that left hand down to the mat, reach that right hand over. Good, take a nice big inhale and exhale. Good, right there. Bring the hand all the way back up. Left hand meets that right hand. Bring everything back down to your heart center, holding that here, and clap it up for you guys. You made it through your full body sculpt. That was definitely a spicy one, but you guys made it through and you showed how strong you really are. I'm so excited to have you here and I can't wait to have you for the next one. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss a video from me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.